Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm reviewing an item from Galen Leather. It is the Everyday book. This is the B6 size version and it is in the Crazy Horse Forest Green leather. So this is how it comes packaged. I did do a little unboxing first impressions video of this a little while ago and I have been using it since. So I will get this out and show you some of the features and talk it over and pros and cons and all that stuff. So, on the inside of the box, you get this little, branding, established to supply all nations in 2012. The Galen Leather Co. brand of stationery is celebrated for quality and ingenuity. And this is what I consider to be a good everyday notebook, and hence the title, Everyday Book. If we take it out of this box, firstly, it comes with a few things in the box. Guide sheet. So there's also a lined one, which I have in the book at the moment, but the graph one has a 5mm on one side and a 10mm or 1cm on the other side. It also comes with this, which is a very thin like leather sheet. This serves two purposes. First is as a blotting sheet. So you write on a page, put it between, close it over, because this is Tullamore River paper. So it is quite, the dry time is a little longer because it is ink resistant paper, but it also serves as a soft writing surface so that you can, sort of put that between the pages, you're writing on and have a nice sort of soft surface to write on. But the most important thing we're looking at today is the notebook. Now, firstly, I have clamped off a few pages that I've been using. This book has been traveling with me. So I've had this in my satchel. I haven't always been using it, but I wanted to see just how it would wear and tear. So it's been in and out of bags, satchels, backpacks, that sort of stuff for a few weeks while I've been rehearsing and performing a show. So it's been traveling with me. And this is the Crazy Horse Leather. So firstly, Crazy Horse Leather is pre-worn. So it comes with some marks and little scuffs and things like that. It's not pre-worn, it's just the way it looks. This is the Crazy Horse Brown. As you can see, this is has the same sort of effect on it. And this is the Forest Green version. A couple of size dimension-y things first. So this is B6. So it's not a standard A size. This is B size. This is B6, so half the size of a B5, which is 12.8 centimeters by 18.2 centimeters. Now, if we look at that in comparison to a standard A5, this is just a Clairefontaine A5 notebook, you'll see it is smaller. In every measurement, it is smaller. But that also makes it a really handy size because firstly, this book is durable. It's got a leather cover, so the leather gets a little bit worn, it gets a little bit sort of beaten up and all of that sort of stuff. That's the point of it. But it is sort of durable, it's strong, and because of that, you can carry it around. And I tended to also carry this occasionally when I was actually using it sort of in my hand, and you don't feel like you're gonna break the book apart like with some sort of soft cover notebooks. And it's really nice. It's got that sort of soft malleableness, which is great. So it is Tullamore River paper. It is old stock Tullamore River paper, and they make that very, very clear. Tullamore River paper is made in Japan. It is super fountain pen friendly, and this is the 52 GSM, and it's 400 pages. 200 sheets, 400 pages. Or is it the other way around? Who knows? You know what I mean. If you use back-to-back, it's 400. And the notebook itself is made in Turkey by Galen Leather. It is vegetable tan leather, which is great. The book is designed to lay flat, which it does very nicely and easily. You can see it is stitch bound, and that's all done by hand. And it's just a really top quality notebook. Little features, rounded corners, stops some getting like dog-eared and banged up a bit. It's got branding on the back, which I'm not a huge fan of all the information being on the back there. Like for me, that could be, on the inside cover or something, but it gives, the dimensions and blank, made in Turkey. This book is the Tullamore River paper, 52 GSM white paper, all of that stuff. For me, that just takes away from it ever so slightly. But I think it's a really solid notebook at this size and using really great paper. The book costs $29 US. So It's not on the cheap side, but you are getting 400 pages of Tomoe River paper. You are getting a leather-bound, handmade notebook, and you're getting something that is a little bit unique. Now, yes, something that was pointed out to me that I didn't notice in the original video was that there were little like dog ears and stuff on the book, on the back cover here. When I opened it up, this corner was already sort of banged up. Now, that doesn't faze me. I was sent this for review by Galen Leather. So I'm reviewing the one I got sent. I didn't buy this. It was sent to me. But it was shrink wrapped and it came in the box. But these are handmade. These are made in a, you know, in a factory by hand and then placed in the box and shrink wrapped. There's human process involved in this. And for a notebook like this, I don't mind. If this was like a really super, like, high quality, hard bound leather notebook and it came with a corner banged up, I would be a little bit disappointed. But in this form, I don't so much mind that. So that's about the notebook. As I said, single piece of leather all the way around, you know, good binding, solid, you know, construction, all of that sort of stuff. Has turned out pretty well after a few weeks of being carried. A few little scuff marks and a few little bits and pieces, but part of the charm of this leather. Of all leather, really, patinas, it shows its personality. But the thing we're here to see is the quality of the paper, if you are not familiar with Tomoe River. So that's the writing sample I did on day one, using the Heinz Pen Company Elementa. Great pen, really great pen, really interesting ink. And since then, I've done a range of other sort of ink tests, mostly fountain pens, because that's what this paper is famed for. We've got Diamine Oxford Blue and Alamy 2000, Birmingham Pen Company Boiler Blue Black, that's the reduced name of that ink, in a Visconti Homo sapiens. We've got Lamy Dark Lilac, yes, a dark lilac, in a Lamy Safari with a fine nib. A Y Studio portable fountain pen with standard bindery Old Friend ink. Diamine Kensington Blue, which is really becoming one of my favourite blue inks, in a TWSBI Classic with a medium nib. Graph von Faber-Castell Green Moss, or actually Moss Green. Wait for that review. Love the ink, love the ink. In a TWSBI Go Broad, and Faber-Castell, then a couple of other things. A Faber-Castell Rollerball, a ballpoint pen, and then some highlighter, and a Blackwing 602 with, you know, the eraser mark there. Two things I'm going to do is I'm going to do a live writing sample with a marker, because why not? And then I'll do a live writing sample with a fountain pen. But one thing we can, I'll just do this writing sample with a marker. Like, this is a big brute of a Sharpie marker, but we are expecting this to come through quite clearly. It is Tomoe River, it is thin Tomoe River paper. One thing you can see on the fountain pen ink, like Diamine Oxford Blue is a beautiful rich dark blue, but you're just getting bangs of that red sheen. Tomoe River, if you're not familiar with Tomoe River paper, the concept of the paper is that it is a very light paper, as I said, 52 GSM, but incredibly ink resistant. It is a very tight weave paper, so you get a tight grain. So ink sits on the top. It doesn't absorb into the paper. The ink sits on the top and dries on the top of the paper. Hence why you need sometimes like a blotter sheet, because the ink will dry and then things like the sheening properties and the shading properties really pop through. So let's look at the reverse of that. Yes, the Sharpie came through. That is an alcohol-based marker. That will come through anything. But this is the sort of stuff you're going to be writing with on an everyday basis in this book. So we've got no bleeding through stuff. Actually, there is a couple of spots of bleed through, which is rare on Tomoe River paper, I will say that. But it is 52 GSM, so you do get a lot of ghosting. A lot of ghosting. For me, I use Tomoe River on one side of the paper. So this reduces this book down to, and any other Tomoe River paper, down to half its capacity. So it becomes a 200-page notebook for me. I can handle the ghosting, but I don't like writing on the reverse of it. I actually do sometimes like to see the ink through, just because it's a nice, pretty look. So what I have here is the guide sheet. I thought I'd do a live writing sample using the guide sheet. If they had lined version, it would be amazing. Dot, grid, all of that sort of stuff. Like, that will probably come as the company grows and as the demand for books like this grow. But at the moment, they've just got this in blank, and they provide the guide sheets with it. So let's just do a quick live writing sample. What we have is the Galen Leather B6 everyday book, leather bound. They are Galen leather after all, with Crazy Horse forest green. The pen I'm using here is a TWSBI Diamond 580 with Robert Oster Tranquility ink. Now, just to show that drying property, this is not a super wet pen, but you can see it pooling and the ink sits on the top. Now, yes, we get a great look at the ink and the color and all of that. Firstly, also, you can see how easily that guide sheet comes through. So writing on the lines is no issue. Same with the grids, all of that sort of stuff. So it does give you those options, just not printed in the book if that's what you're after. The reverse, of course, lots of show through. There's no bleed on this one, just lots of show through. But yeah, the ink pools on the surface, and so the dry time is longer. So you just chuck a blotting sheet in there before you close it down. So this was the Galen Leather B6 Everyday Book. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. Thank you so much to Galen Leather for providing this for review and providing a number of items for review over the years. I love their products, and I think the quality of them really, really shines through, and they're a wonderful company to be working with in that respect. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. All my details are listed down below. Drop me your questions or comments below, or drop me an email. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you'd like to support the channel by sponsoring a review or providing an item for review, get in touch and let's see what we can do. In the meantime, enjoy your pens and your paper, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.